leftover French fries in the Jack Attack room, leftover French fries in the Jack Attack room. However, it's just the small burnt ones. Thank you.
If we could refocus that light so that it's not in my face, that would be great. Refocus light number 17. Thank you.
And cue the nose blow sound effect.
Okay, is anybody listening to me right now because my mom's here and she needs to go to the bathroom?
No problemo, I can help her. Hey lady, come on this way. So what do you gotta do, number 1 or number 2?
Hi, I'm John Tate. This is You Don't Know Jack 2015. I'm your host, Cookie Masterson. And hey, wipe that smile off your face. This is serious. Okay, just kidding. There will be farts and stuff. I'm glad it's just you and me. I'm feeling a little needy. And our wrong answer of the game is sponsored by
the San Francisco Otter Choir. Free concerts every Wednesday, except for mating season.
If you happen to find our sponsor's wrong answer of the game, you'll be rewarded with big prizes and cash. Okay, no turning back.
Get ready, time for question 1.
First question, Bootyful. Let's analyze one of Kim Kardashian's body parts. About what percentage of Kim Kardashian's brain is just made up of water? 10%? 40%? Kim Kardashian's brain, and everybody else's brain for that matter, is made up of about 80% water. But that other 20% is just so round and firm, I can't stop thinking about it.
Oh, Mama gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. Tell you so.
Let's try. His acting is alright. So, you know how they called Matthew McConaughey's resurgence as an actor his McConaissance? Well, if Matthew McConaughey is currently experiencing a McConaissance, then what period of his life just ended? The McCona Dark Ages? The McCona Industrial Age? The McCona Middle Ages? Or the McCona Enlightenment Age? The Renaissance first occurred in Italy in the late 14th century, immediately following the Middle Ages. So the McConaissance would follow the McCona Middle Ages. Which is funny because most Renaissance sculptures also need to put on a damn shirt.
Dance with me, Disco 3.
And now, brought to you by the letter Unibrow.
It's the put the choices into order, then buzz in and see if you are right. Question.
And if you get this one right, I'll rustle up some extra moolah for you. Arrange these Sesame Street characters in order of fewest to most eyebrows. Bert, Ernie, the Count. Ernie, Bert, the Count. Bert, Ernie, the Count. The Count, Bert, Ernie, or Ernie, the Count, Bert. Ernie has no eyebrows at all, Bert has one long single eyebrow, and the Count has two eyebrows! You just picked up an extra $1,000 for that. And yet, none of them have ever blinked. It's time for Duck, Duck, Swan. Say the cast of Duck Dynasty attends a performance of Swan Lake and thinks there are real waterfowl on stage. In their confusion, which character would they most likely shoot? Siegfried, Benno, Von Rothbart, or Odette? Odette is a princess who has been turned into a swan, so the Duck Dynasty crew would probably fill her full of lead. Especially if they find out she once fooled around with a lady swan in college. Next up, the man in the backwards yellow hat. And it's a dis or dat. I'm going to read off 7 things, and for each one you tell me if it's an alleged antic by pop star Justin Bieber, or An antic by the classic children's book character Curious George. If it's Justin Bieber, press the square button. If it's Curious George, press the circle button. Okay, let's move. Peed in a mop bucket. Broke his leg falling from a fire escape. Arrested for falsely reporting a fire. Back to house. Got high on ether. Fed a bugle to an ostrich. Went to a Brazilian brothel. You were a couple of bananas short of a bunch. I think we can all agree that it's time for that little bastard to get deported. And then it's your turn, Bieber. That'll wrap up round 1, and you're in pretty good shape for now. Keep in mind, all the prizes are doubled in round 2. And don't forget, the wrong answer of the game is still there for the taking. Let's keep going. This one's called Dumber and Dumberer 2. So there's Dumb and Dumber, and then there was Dumb and Dumberer, and then Dumb and Dumber 2. Makes perfect sense. Now, going back a few decades, there was The Odd Couple and The Odd Couple 2. So, if another remake of The Odd Couple used the superlative adjective, it would be called The Blank Couple. Odd, odder, oddest, or odderest. Oh, honestly. Odd is the adjective, odder is the comparative adjective, and oddest is the superlative adjective. But of course, everyone who made the original Odd Couple movies is dead, which means it's the perfect time for Rob Schneider to swoop in and revitalize the franchise. No, but speaking of otter, get it? You just won! The greatest hits of the San Francisco Otter Choir. Hailed as one of the top 3 otter choirs in the world, the San Francisco Otter Choir will astound you with their covers of Little Red Corvette and The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Today's wrong answer of the game is worth a whopping $8,000. Enjoy.
Question 7. Get up and shake your monkey bang.
Say hello to Let It Go, Let It Go, Let It Go. At which temperature would Olaf from the movie Frozen melt and die? 30 degrees Kelvin, 30 degrees Fahrenheit, 30 degrees Celsius, or 30 degrees Rankine? He's a snowman. 30 degrees is below freezing in Fahrenheit and insanely below freezing in Kelvin and Rankine. But it's pretty balmy in Celsius, about the equivalent of 86 degrees Fahrenheit. And I know, blah blah blah, he can magically be saved, but I'm talking about what would happen in the real world to a talking snowman.
Follow me down to the sea.
This one's known as Kangaroo, Peanut, Albert Einstein, or Uranus.
Kangaroo, Peanut, Albert Einstein, or Uranus.
First spotted in 1879. Kangaroo, Peanuts, Albert Einstein, or Uranus? Albert Einstein was first spotted in 1879, the year he was born. Probably by a midwife or something, over a century after Uranus was discovered and even longer after kangaroos and peanuts. I've heard baby Einstein cried a lot because he left behind some important equations on the uterine wall. Why not try wine or lose? If the Washington Redskins rebranded themselves with a non-offensive red-skinned mascot, what could they be called? The Washington Chardonnays, the Washington Malbecs, the Washington Pinot Blancs, or the Washington Rieslings? Chardonnays, Pinot Blancs, and Rieslings are all white-skinned grapes, but the Malbec grape is red. Although to a connoisseur like myself, Malbec is very offensive. Oh yes, I do say that was quite a burn. How about, I want to lick and roll all night? If Kiss singer Gene Simmons' tongue grew to the average length of an adult giraffe's, how deep into a woman's mouth could he stick it when he kissed her? About 5 inches deep, about 10 inches deep, about 20 inches deep. An adult giraffe's tongue is on average about 18 to 20 inches long. So that's about how deep into a woman's mouth a giraffe-tongued Gene Simmons could stick it. And if Gene Simmons' neck grew to the length of an adult giraffe's, he may not even need women anymore. Step right up to the Jack Attack. When you see 2 clues that match, press the X button. $2,000 if you're right, but if you're wrong, you lose $2,000. And most importantly,
remember the clue.
It's gotta be a match that fits this clue. Your house is made of what? What materials are their houses made from? Good luck. That's all she wrote! The truth is, home is wherever you hang your hat. My hat is currently hanging in my old college roommate's guest cottage. Shh! He doesn't know I'm living there.